This transit is subtle but also extremely powerful because Mercury retrograde isn't about thinking forwards, which I feel like you're very used to doing, right? Suspending your consciousness into future timelines, gaining a little insight in your remote viewing abilities, right? That glimpse into your destiny or potential destiny before it unfolds, gathering back that I'm hearing intellectual property, which is an interesting term, because it kind of would speak to that being a very specific contract of some kind, and it's something that is unique to your very specific energetic signature and unique to you alone, how only you would be able to create that very specific outcome because of, I'm hearing, all the abilities that you're made up of, right? That's interesting. Okay, this reading is going a different route than I thought it would already. So it's telling me that you may be embarking on a new route. Anyway, the message that I had is that one, Mercury meets the North Node in Pisces, your inner voice aligns with your destiny frequency. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Okay, it's like your inner voice is guiding you towards the destiny that would be the highest possible expansion and expression of the soul experiencing itself through form. So let's talk a little bit more about Mercury conjunct the North Node, because we literally have the messenger seated on the North Node, which is about soul evolution and expansion and growth. What does that entail for you? Well, if you look at your life through the lens of source, then this is the field of neutrality, where there's no projection, no assumption, and no fear, and no story. That's exactly what this transit demands, because Mercury retrograde removes the mental clutter, Pisces dissolves the noise, and the North Node highlights the path. From the 0 point, March 17th will feel like a knowing that arises from silence, a shift in direction without analysis, and a message that comes through feeling instead of language. Clarity that appears the moment that you stop searching for it. This isn't about solving something, instead it's about perceiving the signal beneath it all. Mercury moving backwards in Pisces means that you're not receiving new information. You're receiving truth that you couldn't hear before. This is intuition correcting your trajectory, a realignment of your inner compass. And because it means the North Node, this is your future self communicating to you via the subconscious. So listen to your dreams, the subtle pause, and the very quiet, this is the direction. Not the loud voice, this is the direction. It's a once very quiet and the first time. This is direction. Today isn't loud, it's precise. A single moment of presence that can reveal the timeline you're meant to step into next. No forcing, no rushing, no performing. Just neutrality and awareness, and the willingness to trust the whisper over the noise. Let 0 point guide the way, because the next step is already encoded into your field as a wave of possibility. Your action will determine which one collapses next. But if you knew that all possibilities were already encoded into your field and all possibilities were abundant and fear was not a factor, what would you choose? Choose that today. Entertain that timeline. So let's go ahead and get a message for you. Let me go ahead and pop you on my tripod real quick. 5:55 on the clock. So whatever you're choosing, it feels to be outside of your comfort zone. Okay, outside of the ego's comfort zone. Okay, let's see. Let's do a message. What should we do? Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get a Cosmos Oracle message for this. Let's take a look at this. Mercury, okay, subconscious, messages from future self. What is the message? How may the message come through? Parallel universes. So there is a parallel you trying to get your attention today, okay? It's saying, hey, this is the way. And what's super interesting is you have supernova here at the base, right? So this is a ripple that can be seen through the naked eye, and it's essentially a decision that you could make that is going to send ripples throughout the universe. That's what this is. That's very interesting. Okay, so parallel universes talks about the power of choice. So what will you choose? And also, what is guiding your choice? Let me see. Parallel universes. What a powerful card. The power of choice. How did you become who you are today? And how did you get to where it is that you are? Although all your lived situations, events, and experiences that we have throughout life are important factors, they're not the answer to these questions. They happen to play a role of the apparent ones, but the real determiner is choice. They may appear as the most obvious reasons, but it is choice which plays a key role. Even when we do not have a choice or do not take it, we're still choosing. So are you leaving something up to chance? Or are you choosing and lucidly guiding your life to your chosen destination, right? Notice how I said lucidly. The apparent ones deal with the cards of the game of life, but do not play. So who does? Choice. Every choice that you have made, no matter how small or relevant it seemed, attracted threads and threads of energy that has molded who you are today, as if you were a piece of clay dancing softly at the mercy of the rhythms. And with each choice, infinite possible webs transpire in other realities. Many of the things that happen to us do not come through choice, but we do get to choose what to do with them. The decisions of the universe work in mysterious ways, but always in our favor. Our choices are sometimes correct, and other times we can make them be. Damn, I can't help but think about in 𝓬𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬. I don't know if you guys remember that reading. I'll try and pull up the notes because I feel like, time is a spherical model. I don't feel like time is a spherical model. I know. And the message I keep getting is about the clay. And in that message, I was talking about clay is not as dense as we believe it to be. We can use oil or we can use water to be able to reshape it. And I'm just seeing some type of choice you made does not mean that you were fixed. Because again, we're talking about reality is not static. It's not fixed. It's a continuous summation of infinite quantum paths encoded into our field as a wave of possibility. And there's something about possible or probable outcomes. Let me go ahead and find that, where there's something that you're reshaping. Just because you made that decision once doesn't mean that that's a decision that has to continue governing the choices that you make from here on out. Okay, I'm hearing there's a different choice that you're making. So in 𝓬𝓻𝓪𝓷𝓬, I was speaking about peeling skin and shedding this new layer. This layer has cellular turnaround. It's an old self that was basically breaking down so that a more refined essence can emerge. So the skin is a boundary between you and the world, and peeling can mean that your boundaries are recalibrating, and that could be the boundary. I don't remember which card it is in the Shaman's Dream Oracle message, but they're showing me the card of marking our life in zones versus of like safe. That's the safe thing to do, that's the familiar thing to do, and confusing that familiarity with safety versus unsafe, because that's unfamiliar, because I haven't done that yet, or because I've always been doing this thing. How could I possibly be doing something this way? And it's not even about the things you do. You have to understand that from a 0 point perspective, it's about the frequency of who you are. It's not about what you do, it's about who you are. And I remember doing a reading on this quite a while ago, and I said, it's almost like what would you call it? I guess like a personality of some kind, or some type of archetype, or some type of role fluidity, where you're not really bound to one thing. But I'm just seeing there is beauty in the simplicity and in the fluidity of you, in giving yourself permission to explore and experience new things, and take it as like a test trial. That's almost what I'm seeing, where you could be trialing new ways of doing things today, or new realities, or that's what the subconscious is like inviting you to do innately. 11:11 on the clock. So 11:11 is also like a dream that comes true, something you've been dreaming actually becoming a part of your everyday lived experience. So yeah, I spoke about the clay. So that was a ram-headed creator god with 𝓻𝓪𝓻, and that's the divine potter. It was the guardian source of the Nile that brought fertility, life, and flow. A weaver of both the physical form and also the subtle energy bodies, making him a symbol of soul embodiment. So are you beginning to kind of look like your soul's expression, right? Is your life a reflection of the soul's expression? I'm hearing all compression, expansion, or contraction. Esoterically, 𝓻𝓪 represents the shaping of divine essence into form, the grounding of spirit into matter, very aligned with soul mission work and things like that, especially anchoring, you know, interdimensional awareness. So in Esna, there was also like a stellar transmission site, right? So it was aligned with astrological timing, lunar magic, and multidimensional attunement. So anyway, in that reading, I was talking about reshaping yourself like clay. Let me see, is there another message? I think that was the only message that I had from it. But I remember, I think I was channeling something in that site, in that sacred site on the 13th of June. And I was saying that there's something that you're reshaping. And how do I even articulate this? It's fractals of yourself intercommunicating. So can you imagine that like this one was previously hollow and it was like blank, but then this one began communicating with this one. And then suddenly the fractal came online. That's what I'm seeing. And then this one is now communicating with this one, and that light is also coming by. I'm just seeing there's a frequency that's super potent that you're emitting out. And it's the intention for liberation. It's the intention for exploration, for adventure. And it's in you doing that and not holding any kind of expectations around how you're going to be perceived for creating this thing. Create for creation's sake today. Don't create because of how you're going to be perceived or the expectations of how you want others to kind of see your creations or what you may feel like others would want to see you create. No, it's very much about create what it is that you want to create, and create from that place of pure enjoyment in the process of creation itself. Don't feel like you're molded or shaped to just one single container. That's a beauty of fluidity. That's the beauty of being like water, because you can take on the shape of that container, of that clay pot, but then you can also transfer and take on a totally new shape, and that's to embrace your multidimensionality. And I feel like that's what it is that you're returning to. It's not even that you're learning anything new, but it's just you're returning back to your fluid-like essence, to your formless-like essence, to your plasma-like essence, because you are a bioplasma being, right? Third dimensional, in the third dimension. Returning back to your plasma-like state. That's the whole point of entering this plane. It's to be able to experience the totality of this plane and the third dimension. The totality of experiencing limits before breaking free from those limits and returning back to your limitless nature. How would you know what freedom tastes like? If you were only previously experiencing self-designed torture, compression, and holding yourself back. The field is one single emanation. Why have you prevented yourself, or what has been preventing you from connecting to the whole of yourself? Everything around you. Difference in only seeming. You are free and always have been, so finally give yourself permission to explore. Don't doubt what we have in store for you. Why do you doubt? Doubt will be something that you always coexist with in this dimension, in this field of contrast. But begin to observe the doubt, feel it, and release it. And recognize that it's merely an experience, a perceived limitation. Playing with yourself in one single emanation. It's a single, localized, familiar octave. Many of us feel that this is something that we should have overcome already. But in truth, it's something that we succumb to. It's not that we surmount anything or we overcome anything by passing over it and believing that we are above it. But it's also innately a part of us. So why run or reject that doubt when you can begin to embrace it? Everything is light in this system. Difference in only seeming. Doubt doesn't have to look like light for it to be light. Source comes in all shapes and disguises in this realm. Difference in only seeming. Do it in spite of doubt. In fact, do it because of the doubt. Guide it. And it will not guide you. For if it does, you'll notice you'll go nowhere at all. That's it. I'm looking at cards and I feel guided to do anything else. That was it. Okay, so parallel universes, the power of choice. That is your message today. Until next time. Bye.